Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing our curriculum that we used last year, the things that we liked, the things we didn't, the things that we changed. So if you're interested in homeschool content, please remember to subscribe and let's get into this video. Okay, so today I'm gonna be going over most of the curriculum we used for last year, not everything that we did, but most of it, and just kind of discussing what we liked about it, what we didn't, or maybe major changes that we made. So hopefully this is helpful and hopefully it maybe helps you as you're preparing to get your curriculum for the fall. So let's get into it. So over this last year, I have realized that I really like curriculums where everything is just right there and I don't have to do anything extra. It's all just bundled up and just very easy. I know that doesn't work for everyone, and not all curriculums have everything that you like, you know, if you just get them all in a bundle. And so people supplement, they do other things. But for me, it just works the best that way. I feel like we get through the curriculum the best, I stay organized, and we actually get to everything we're supposed to when everything is just one curriculum instead of, oh, we have this over here, we have this over here, we do this over here. It just gets complicated for me. Again, if you like to do it that way, that's totally fine. So the first one I want to mention is math. So we started off the school year with doing the Moffitt girls for some of my kids, and it just wasn't working super well. I really do love the Moffitt girls. I don't have it to show because it's a printout thing, and so I haven't been printing it out because we haven't been using it. But you buy it on Teachers Pay Teachers, and it's very good, I feel like, as a supplement to a main math curriculum because there's a bunch of centers. And the units, it's just like, okay, today we're gonna talk about addition, and then we're gonna move on to the next unit, which is subtraction, and then the next unit, which is time, which is great, but I actually like it when they're all integrated together and we're learning a little bit of addition here and then applying it here instead of just separate units, and I'll explain more about that in a minute. And so it just wasn't working super well for us, and it didn't have a good way to review without me having to put in a lot of work to put something together for us to review. And so we kind of got rid of that and stopped using that. And then my oldest, just last year, was using Beast Academy, and the plan was for him to use it this year. If you look at his curriculum video for 5th grade that I posted just like a month or two ago, this is what he was gonna be using, but me and my husband talked about it and realized like this wasn't working well for him. Again, I think this is a good supplement to a main math curriculum. We have a neighbor that goes to public school and he does different math at school and then does this at home as kind of review or just adding to his math, and that works well for them. And I think that kind of viewpoint would work well. So we might still use it as an additional thing. But my husband says it's like too clever for its own good. It doesn't really have that much instruction and expects kids to know a lot. Like, it's very advanced math, which is good in some ways, but it expects them basically to understand junior high or high school math. And even me and my husband, when we read through it, we want to answer it like we would have in junior high or high school, or like my husband does now. You know, his job is, he's an economist and has a math minor. And so, you know, when it's pushing our minds to think that way, it's just a little bit hard for young kids to work through this very easily. I know they have their online courses and stuff like that, and that might make it a little bit easier. But again, I just personally, from our perspective, it just felt better as in addition to main math curriculum and not our main math curriculum. So what we've been doing instead, if you've been watching any of my videos the last year, we've been doing the Good and the Beautiful math, and we have loved this. This is their Simply Good and the Beautiful math, which has been recently redone. I never did their math before. I know people have mixed feelings about that math. I'm sure they have mixed feelings about this math, but we have really enjoyed it. So this is a spiral approach, and so they'll give you a topic for that day, something that you're working on. But then there's always unit review, which goes back and covers maybe what you talked about the day before, and then maybe a few weeks before that, and it keeps going back, you know, and then they'll incorporate what you learned that day into the next day's lesson or in a few weeks as well. And so it's constant review, right? You're bringing in, which is what I didn't like about the Moffitt girls math. I would have had to have created that kind of review, but this just naturally, it's already done for me in here. And so I really have liked that. And then it also, whoa, that was loud, comes with this manipulatives kit. So my first grader finished 2nd grade math last year from the Good and the Beautiful. So this is a full book, but you can keep the manipulatives thing. So then when my next kid is in second grade math, I can use the same thing, or, you know, maybe we'll buy a new one. We'll see when we get there, what point we're at. But all of my kids now, this like upcoming school year and over the summer, they're all doing the good and the beautiful math because we have loved it so much. Again, everything is right there. All the review, everything is in there. I don't have to put in any work really whatsoever. We just open it and we're just ready to go. So I've just really loved that. It's worked better for us as a math curriculum. Okay, the next thing I wanted to mention is language arts. So when we started the school year, this was basically our language arts, this whole stack. And now for one of my kids, you know, this is our stack for language arts because we switched to the good and the beautiful's language arts. So let me go through these curriculum. Again, I don't think any of these curriculum are really bad. I actually enjoy them and think they all work really well. I just don't work well. It doesn't work. I don't work well. That's really good. Anyway, it just doesn't work well for me. I just don't function as well when we have all these separate curriculums and I don't get to them. I forget things. And so when it's all in one spot, it's easier for me. So for spelling, for several years, we've done Spelling UC, which is a really fun curriculum. It kind of gets kids writing in bigger sentences. It's not, here's your spelling list type of a thing. It's, here's a paragraph. And so some of the words are gonna be too hard for them. Some of them will be a little bit easier, but then you help them, you know, they write it out 4 days a week, I believe. And then the 5th day you dictate it to them. And that's when they really are like, oh, did I learn this week? Which a lot of times, you know, it's hard. They didn't learn it very well. Anyway, and so then they write it out. And so they're learning how to spell words in like normal things that they would be doing on a day-to-day basis instead of spelling words that maybe they don't know how to put those things together. Anyway, so it comes with another booklet that goes with this that has all the worksheets, and then this is just the teacher's manual. And then for like reading, I have my kids pick like a classic start, like 4 or 5 for the whole year, my older kids, that they wanted to do. And this works sort of well. They read the books, but I also wanted some reading comprehension with it. So we had done the LAP books right here, and these are from the Confessions of a Homeschooler. And I'm not good at doing these. I am horrible about doing these and remembering to do them. Reading comprehension is not my favorite thing. So this was just really not super great for me. I think that they're super fun and a great idea. My kids love Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because it has an activity in there where you test different chocolate bars and rate your favorite. And that's always the one all of my kids look forward to when someone's reading Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And so there's a lot of really good fun things in here for your kids to do. And for reading comprehension, it just did not work for us. So that was a pass. And then also one of my kids was gonna be doing all about reading. This isn't the level he was working on. I think he was on almost level 2. And this is another really, really good curriculum. A lot of people love it, and I think it works really well. Again, I just don't, having so many separate curriculums just doesn't work well for me. And so this is another good one if you want. And then I will keep these books because they're just fun for reading. And if I need something extra to help my kids when they're at different levels, we can pull these books out. And I think now these ones are printed in color. Some of my level 1 and level 2 aren't, but now they print the pictures all in color. So they're really fun. They're fun stories. So if you needed, again, another supplement to the language arts you're doing with the good and the beautiful or whatever other language arts you're doing, those books would be great to help kids. Okay, and then for vocab, we were using the vocab workshop, which I have mixed feelings. I kind of land right in the middle. The levels are kind of weird because they're by color. I think it's the red one that is the either kindergarten or first grade. It's like the first one you do. And I really do like that one. I feel like it helped my kids all out a lot, and it was very visual and fun, and they all have stories. That one, it just shows pictures and you can listen to the story. This one you like follow along, which this is what my kids' favorite part of this is listening to the story and reading it. And so that part was enjoyable, but again, it's vocab. It's not super fun, and it was just hard for me to keep up with this. I feel like when I have so many different curriculums for each subject, I am not very good at checking my kids' work. Whereas it's like, okay, we have one book, we just sit down, we go through this, I can make sure they're doing it right. But when I have tons of different books, I'm just not very good at making sure we're doing it correctly, doing a thorough job. And so I've just noticed that about myself, which is why we have switched curriculums this last year. So instead of all those books for language arts, we're just doing the Good and the Beautiful's language arts. And so my oldest two kids are still working on level 3 since we were kind of behind. Like I said, since we were so segmented with all the different things, and we did grammar from the Moffat girls as well. They have one you can print out. But since we were so like all over the place with all the different curriculums, it was hard to know where we exactly were at. And then they were falling behind a little bit in some things and more ahead in some things. So we are just doing level 3 and we're almost halfway through it, I guess. So we're continuing it through the summer. And then into the fall is my oldest to go into 4th and 5th grade. But I've really enjoyed this. I love how everything is incorporated into it. And I don't have to think about all the subjects. It makes my life so much easier. And it's just really fun. And I feel like it helps them understand how all these things are supposed to work together as well. So, okay, I'll write a story about what we're reading about. And that makes more sense. And we just talked about all these spelling rules, and now I'm going to incorporate them into my story, you know, and things like that. It's all working together. And then they do an art project, you know, and they can draw something, which my daughter really loves. My son, not so much, but my daughter really loves it. So there's just so many good things incorporated, and it just helps you see how the world is interconnected instead of here's a subject, here's a subject, here's a subject. So that's something that I really loved about it. This one comes with a reader, and then they do poetry with it as well. And then along with that, we've been doing their handwriting from the Good and the Beautiful, which is one of my favorites. We've tried several, and then this one is one of my favorites. Again, they have some pictures here. I've mentioned this before in some of my other videos, which I think is just super fun because it's not just practicing, this is how you write a letter, but how you can copy a picture or, you know, practice your drawing, and all those are helping those fine motor skills become stronger, which I just think is unique. I just haven't seen it anywhere else. Okay, the last few things I want to mention is some of our group work, which didn't really change, so that's good news. But for our scriptures, I really have loved the Red-Headed Hostess. So I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and the Red-Headed Hostess, it's an online like subscription. You pay $10 about, I think, per month, and you have access to put up like week to week what we're studying in church. And because wherever you are in the world, we're all studying the same thing. And so she puts up what we're studying, and you can print out. She has stuff for adults to study, young, youth, teenagers, whatever they're called, and then a little bit older children and some really young children. And she'll have tons of activities and all these things. So I have loved it. It saved me while I was pregnant and with a newborn, because I could just go on there and print stuff out, and it was basically ready for me to use and to teach my kids. And so that was super helpful for me when my life was a little bit crazy and I wasn't feeling good and all that kind of stuff. And so we really love that. We've continued to do that, continued to do our Come Follow Me curriculum that I make, if you've seen any of those videos. And so that's worked really well for us this year. And then we have stuck with our science and our history. So we're doing science from elemental science, which it looks like this, and has these readers. And we're gonna keep sticking to this. I get a little overwhelmed by this book, to be honest. Like, I personally like the Good and the Beautiful science like units better, and so we'll be doing some of those as well. But these readers are super fun and my kids like them. This book can just get overwhelming because they plan it so well that there's so many activities, there's so many books, and obviously you don't have to do all the things, but it can just be a little overwhelming if you go into it thinking, oh, I have to do all these things, and you don't. You can just pick and choose. There'll be some crafts, there'll be some demonstrations or experiments you can do and things like that. So you can get this as a bundle. So we have anatomy, because technically you go through both of them in a school year, but last year was like a crazy school year for us, so we didn't. And then with the bundle, it would come with some extra things you'd need for all the experiments, and we haven't used that really. So I don't think it's worth it unless you're determined to do every single thing in the book, in this book, and I don't think it's worth it to buy the box that they give you, and you can just go buy what you need for whatever demonstrations or experiments you decide to do. I feel like that would be better for us. But if you're determined to do all of them, then maybe buying the box with all the extra supplies would work for you. So that's just kind of my thoughts about this. But we're gonna keep with that and integrate a few of the good and the beautiful science units as well. But then our history curriculum, I've really enjoyed. We've only gotten like a third of the way through it maybe. And I've enjoyed the readers. The first one my kids really loved, and we haven't gotten into this one, but the first one about an Egyptian boy, they really enjoyed. And they were very, very excited to keep reading it. And so I've enjoyed that. I'm learning stuff about history that I didn't really know, so that's been working well for us also. The last thing I wanted to mention is us doing lemonade time. That is something we're gonna continue doing. My kids have been asking about it for summer, and I think we're just not doing it over the summer because we have so many other things going on. But they really have enjoyed that. I have a video of one that I did, so I'll link that down below. And just, it gives us just something to do once a month on a Friday that incorporates the theme for the month. So, you know, if it's a month with a holiday, we might make food around that holiday and read some books about that holiday. If it's just like summertime, you know, or springtime or winter, you know, we'll find some foods around that and some books about that and go, you know, it's kind of our way to celebrate whatever's going on that month and just do it on one Friday or a couple Fridays instead of trying to incorporate that into our normal day-to-day curriculum, which was again really hard for me. And so we've had a lot of fun doing that. My kids always ask about that. So we started it this last year and we're gonna continue doing it, kind of like a poetry tea time. It's similar to that. And so that's what we're gonna keep doing. Okay, so that was our curriculum for this last year. I know that it was kind of a lot and yet I did not cover everything. I know you're wondering how, but I covered most things, just not completely everything. But we enjoyed a lot of things. There were some things that were misses for us. I still feel like a lot of the curriculum is really good. It just didn't work well for our family, and that's important, finding stuff that works well for you and your lifestyle. So if you enjoy seeing these types of videos, remember to give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.